I'm Dave Gruber, the Vice President of DoD Programs for Merlin International. One of the problems that we've been dealing with at Merlin International is the military problem of getting huge amounts of information through the NIPRNet, through the SIPRNet, and through the Internet. In a previous life, I was the Director of Network Operations at the Network Operations Division at Headquarters Air Force in the Pentagon. We were constantly faced with the fact that military operations required more bandwidth than we had available, especially in deployed locations, especially in usage-constrained areas. There are two problems with that we're specifically addressing. The first one has to do with the fact that TCP/IP, the protocol used by the Internet, was not written and not designed to work in a high-latency environment. When you have to do multiple satellite hops, like we do, like the military has to do, in many cases those multi-hops get in the way. They're very chatty and they constrain the amount of information that can flow. So that's problem number one. The second problem has to do with a known fact that information that flows through the Internet, through the NIPRNet, has probably already gone through the NIPRNet once already. In many cases, up to 70% of the traffic going from this location to another location has already gone through that path. Now that doesn't include real-time imagery, obviously, and real-time information or voice calls, but it does include things like PowerPoint slides, graphics, weather imagery, target imagery, and things like that. The information that many people will want to see. What if you didn't have to send that? What if that information was not required to send again? What if you could look at the sending side and say, I've already cataloged this and I've stored it at this location. When the information request to send it again comes through, the sending side says, I've already cataloged this, here's the location of where I've cataloged that information. The sending side, or the receiving side, has already cataloged it as well. So if the sending side sends just the location of where that information is, whether it's 1 megabyte, 2 megabytes, 100 megabytes, and just sends that pointer to the receiving side can go into the cache, into the memory store, pull out that file, and send it along its way, just like it came from the sending side. As a result of that, all that additional traffic is simply removed from the NIPRNet. It doesn't transfer. That becomes, not only does that help at garrison bases, but it's hugely important at deployed locations where a PowerPoint slide or where, again, imagery doesn't have to be sent. That's the solution that we're working on. That's the solution that we've come up with both Riverbed and NetApp. And that's what we'd like to talk to you more about.